Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, Body. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, 21st of August, 2025. Storm and Teacup, episode 27. Hello.
Let's not all jump in at the same time here. Come on.
It is
A
episode
really good week
isn't
this
it?
week. I was gone.
It is episode 27, isn't it, this week? I'm losing count in my old age.
26.
Let's try again, shall we? This is called adding. If I have 2 beans, and then I add 2 more beans, what do I have? Some beans. Yes and no. Again, shall we? I have 2 beans, then I add 2 more beans. What does that make? A very small casserole. Aldrich, the 8 creatures of the Indus have mastered this. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many are there? 3. What? And that one. 3 and that one. So if I add that one to the 3, what will I have? Oh, some beans. Yes. To you, Baldrick, the Renaissance was just something that happened to other people, wasn't it?
Lucy Connolly's out.
Yay.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a good news week, but I'm glad we're starting with that one. Yeah. So was it a couple of hours ago or so?
Yeah.
Today at some point.
Fantastic news. I saw, I think it was Dan Wootton again, comparing the ways different people had reported on it. And is it the Mirror that had really disgusting? He said something like vile, woman who posted vile comment released from prison. What an absolutely despicable way to write that.
That was the BBC. It said, I think he compared the Telegraph headline, which is Lucy Connolly released from prison, pretty much straightforward. And then it was the BBC who just said, woman, didn't even mention her name, woman jailed for racist tweet released. Real just like, oh, geez.
Absolutely crazy.
It's becoming like a parody now. The way the narrative they're still trying to push about all of these things.
That poor woman, I expect she's going to need some time to herself, actually. Or not to herself, but away from the public, sorry.
There's not much she can say if she's been released on license.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because they'll put her back.
Well, has she been released on license? I'm not sure.
I think so, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're great for this stuff. So explain to me what that means, released on license.
Well, she's not served the full sentence, so it's subject to terms and conditions.
Ah, I see. Thank you. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, what it seems to me is she has certainly probably not by choice, but she has now become a major figure in the resistance, whether she likes it or not.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And whether she is or isn't out on license, if she is out on license, then obviously, like you say, she can't say anything for a period of time. And she obviously, I imagine, will want to just spend some time getting herself and her life back together. But she is in such a powerful position now. If she comes out and she is able to speak about this, she could be massive. She could be such a massive voice now because of what she's been through. And I kind of hope that she does whenever she is able to, or whenever she's up to doing it. It'll make such a big difference.
I've got to say, I've got to look at it from the husband's point of view. If I was her husband, I'd wrap her up in bubble wrap and I'd ask her to stay away because poor girl. But yes, absolutely, she's now a heroine of the resistance for sure. Whatever she does now.
Yeah, and some of the reactions towards her as well are just completely over the top. That idiot Femi, whatever his name is, that left-wing agitator, basically came out and called her a terrorist.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
tweet, and
she's not even a racist, though. What's
No.
racist about the comment? I don't really get this.
Well, it's apparently because she was inciting violence, and if we go back a couple of days ago, I'm terrible with names, and I do apologise. The guy that said slit their throats, apparently that's not inciting violence.
yeah,
Ricky Jones.
Thank
Ricky
you.
Jones. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, well, the difference is that he pleaded not guilty, and so he was able to give his whole sob story in front of a jury, whereas she was advised to plead guilty, and so and she didn't even get bail. So it was just okay, guilty, right, and you're sentenced to this, and that's it. So which I find quite surprising because she's married to a conservative counsellor. You would have thought they would have had some at least half decent legal representation over this.
In fact, as you say that, I was thinking that's the first question I'd like her to answer is who advised her to say that, because I think we should all know the name of that person so we don't ever go there.
Yeah, well, go on, Viv.
A lot of them were advised to plead guilty.
Yeah.
Is it a common thing, do you think?
Yeah. Most of the people who were imprisoned after the Southport thing, and bear in mind that people who took part in natural violence got smaller sentences than Lucy Connolly. They were advised to plead not guilty, and as a subsequence, they were imprisoned. They should have pled not guilty.
Yeah, well, I would have thought that a lot of the people who were collared for after the Southport thing were kind of just ordinary people who probably didn't have or could afford their own solicitor, so they were just supplied one. But as I said, Lucy Connolly, being the wife of a Conservative MP, I kind of thought she maybe would not have fallen into that bracket. They may have actually had their own solicitor, someone that they knew and had worked with previously and who could trust. I don't actually know, but you have people, or the so-called normal people like Peter Lynch, who ended up dying in prison. Just average people like us who probably, like I said, were just appointed some kind of legal brief because they either couldn't afford their own solicitor or they didn't actually have one. And of course, if they're appointed one, then it's going to be a poison chalice. That one.
And they certainly make it sound the best way forward. And of course, if you're not legally minded, why would you question that? And that's why we need to know the names of the people that, even maybe going back to Peter Lynch, why has no one sort of told us who it was that legally represented him, so that we can all sort of start talking these names down?
Well, why would they? I mean, why would they tell us unless there was an issue surrounding it? If somebody really chased it up and somebody with a bit of clout and a bit of influence really got got their teeth into that one, that maybe would come out. But it's just one of those things, they wouldn't need to openly publish that. You could probably look it up. There'll be a record of it somewhere, I'm sure.
It might be. Hopefully someone in the right sort of places is thinking of these kinds of things. Another news from today, it's across the pond, but Trump's case has been thrown out, the one of him pricing up his properties. Yeah,
the Letitia James, Peekaboo James, the one that she bought, isn't it? That one's been quashed, so that's another one which has bitten the dust. That was the one where he was accused of exaggerating his wealth or something like that.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think it was just a matter of time. I think there's another one. There's still maybe one, at least one more still to be resolved. I think there one with Alvin Bragg, I think. But that'll probably go the same way because it was just lawfare designed to obstruct him and stop him trying to do what he was doing. And they never had any real hope of them of them coming through. I think it was just obstructionism. So yeah, no real surprise about that.
Yep.
It's certainly building up well for the 13th, anyway.
Yeah, I saw that little video you just sent me earlier, Fordy, about how the amount of train delays and cancellations there are on that day coming into London.
Crazy, yeah.
And how it's like it's almost deliberate. You know, they really are playing dirty to try and stop people attending. It's it's just unbelievable.
Are you able to get two people sleeping on your floor?
Just about. I'm already sleeping on the floor. I'm already sleeping on my floor.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, come one, come all, brilliant. Yeah, no, what were you about to say, Viv?
I was going to say it's duty solicitors, isn't it, appointed by the state, who basically told them to plead guilty.
Yes, I see. So it's not a particular person. It's the state, whoever they send down. They basically tell them what to do anyway, don't they?
Yeah, you're never going to get the best, are you?
No.
And if they're appointed by the state, you're never going. They're always going to have. Well, you know, we don't trust the government. We don't trust the justice system anymore. So you get appointed by someone who works for the justice system, appointed by the state. Then why are you going to trust them?
No, of course you can't. You can't trust them because they're not trustworthy.
No.
I've been, I hate to say it, but I've been in a prison cell more time. Well, I'd have to take my socks off to count how many times I've been in a prison cell, and every single time it's the same BS. And the people they send in to represent you are just, sometimes they're the most junior person they just send down there.
Yeah, they probably just send them in to learn the ropes, you know?
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh
well, but the thing is, Lizzie Connolly has got such a profile that once she keeps her nose clean in order not to be returned to prison, I think she's got a few months to go, to be honest.
Well, it was, what was it, 36 months was the full sentence. So she's been released. I don't know how early. I mean, she was due out. Well, I'm not sure
I think she's done 32 at the moment.
Oh, really? So only 4 months until the end of her actual sentence. So she wouldn't have to stay if she was out on license. She wouldn't have to stay quiet for longer than that, then, would she?
She'll be. It will be long enough for her to stand against a politician. You know, of the. Oh damn! What's wrong with my brain today? A uniparty politician. She could stand against someone like. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's several. I'm sure there's loads. If she did stand.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the complication with that is she's married to a uniparty politician. Her husband's a Conservative, a member of Conservative.
I know. I mean, I wonder, Miri AF, who's quite outspoken, says this is a setup. And I personally myself wonder if Ricky Jones is a crisis actor.
Explain. Go.
Yeah.
Well, a crisis actor is someone who's employed by the state to pretend to be. Oh no, sorry. I'd have to read Miri's article on this. So I'm not quite sure what she's writing about. She's on Substack, but I haven't read the article. I just noticed a number of people saying that Miri wrote an article on this.
Right.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It is. I mean, it is always strange. And this, you know, now you say that, and we do love our conspiracies and stuff. So let's go down that one. But it is weird that the 1 week, in the same week, again, you've got Ricky Jones letting off for incitement of violence, and then a couple of days later, this whole Lucy Connolly thing, and they're so related, and you can't deny that that's really throwing it in the public eye as if to say, come on, wake up, people. And it's all of these little things that go on in twos and threes, and you think to yourself, as I always say, everything we see, we're meant to see, and what is the conspiracy there, or as you say, the setup, or the play?
Well, now you mention it,
I'm looking at Mary's. I'm looking at Mary today. She's just posted this. She's asking, why did nobody turn up to greet her when she came out? Well, perhaps they didn't know she was coming out, but her husband wasn't there. She got a taxi back, an hour taxi ride, but back to Northampton.
Yeah, I mean that's quite the fact her husband wasn't there is a bit odd, I would say. It was publicised that she was going to be released, so it wasn't it wasn't completely out of the blue.
No, I see. Yeah, apparently, I mean, Mary's very harsh in many ways. She says that her husband couldn't collect her because he was watering the plants and then playing golf. And the photo circulating in the press to mark their reunion is 14 years old. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Mary is right or wrong. It's just that I think we do need contrarians.
Yeah, and that does sound a little bit far-fetched what she's saying there. The husband's watering the plants and playing golf. Come on, no.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? But yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, she's I believe Dan Wootton did mention earlier that he was one of the first persons she phoned when she was released to speak to him. So I'm sure we'll be getting one way or another some information from her side in due course.
Yeah. And who said that they're going to take her into Parliament?
Oh, was that Rupert Lowe?
I thought it was him. Yeah. So it's Rupert Lowe has said he's going to take her into Parliament. So
I mean, she really doesn't seem from the information which has been which we've found out about her since all of this started. She really doesn't seem like the type of person who would really get into politics. She just seems like a very, very nice, caring woman, someone who's not really comfortable in that area. So, but
I'd say that's why she got the taxi home, gents, because she's not a limelight type of person. If I'd been in and it's going to have traumatized her. Ladies like her don't go to prison, so she's going to be traumatized. The last thing she's going to want is a camera in her face. And I think what's probably more to the point is the husband sort of said, right, I'm ordering you a taxi. They'll pick you up from the door, get in the taxi, and I'll see you when you get home, kind of scenario.
Yeah, it might have been done to avoid some, sort of publicity. But just getting back to what you said about the conspiracy and the setup.
I don't know. Yeah.
One thing which, once again, I can't remember where I saw this, but it might have been somebody on Talk TV talking about it, and how they were saying that because this is obviously these two things, recent things, are Ricky Jones acquittal and Lucy Connolly being released in such a short space of time. Both of these are very bad for Keir Starmer and the current government. They're not good for both of them, both of these little events. And whoever it was talking about it, they were saying that in so many words that the vultures are now circling around Keir Starmer's leadership within the Labour Party. And they mentioned that there were three likely contenders who would be looking to take his place. One of them is Angela Rayner, Deputy Prime Minister, which is talked about. The second one is Sadiq Khan, who's always been, I think for a long time, he's had his eye on maybe taking over leadership of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
And the third one is the current mayor of Manchester.
Andy Burnham.
Andy Burnham.
God. Yeah.
Yes, and there may be there may be all sorts of, and it may not be too much longer before Keir Starmer is downed by the people within his own party. And I mean, if those three names are kind of legitimate contenders, I would say probably the worst one, in my opinion, would be Andy Burnham, because Angela Rayner's just a nut job. Sadiq Khan's just a psychopath, and so them taking control would actually just continue the destruction of the Labour Party, especially in the view of the public. Whereas Andy Burnham, he's managed to kind of steer clear of all of that crap. His hands are kind of clean of a lot of all the nonsense and the rubbish that this Labour Party, this Labour government have been involved in. And he is probably has, in the public eye, I would say, has more credibility than the other two.
Have you read Raja Mia on him?
Sorry?
Have you read Raja Mia?
Not recently, no.
Oh dear. He's blaming him. He's just saying he's deeply involved in the cover-up of the pedo gang scandal.
Yes, that may well be true, but I'm saying in the eyes of the public, sort of optically, he is probably the one who seems the most sane out of the two of them.
That's not saying a lot, really, but
no,
yeah.
No, it's not. Well, whether that's just speculation, I don't know. This is just sort of second-hand opinion.
Yeah, sure.
But I would certainly say there is probably something in the fact that there are members within the Labour Party who are probably quite keen to get rid of Starmer now.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, his approval ratings are really it's shocking actually.
It's never been good though, has it? Since
no, never been good, but dropping weekly.
Yeah. So I don't know. So one of you two are going to be win our sportsman's bet of when Starmer will be deposed.
When did 4D reckon he was going?
I was trying to remember. I can't remember if I said in year 2 or at the end of year 1, but it was like I think it was somewhere around there. I said something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was you, Viv, who said September, October.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And
that's
then
what I reckon.
4D. I think 4D. You said it would be the following year.
Yeah,
well, 4D. Like you definitely said no. It'll be after that. So.
Yeah, but and again, I wonder if it's our Biden moment where for so long they thought Biden was going to get chucked out, but he stayed there. I don't know.
Yeah,
man, it could drag on and on and on.
Yeah, and just get worse and worse and worse. Just another quick comparison, which has already been made about Lucy Connolly. Not so much Ricky Jones, but of course the pedo Hugh Edwards, who didn't even see the inside of a jail cell.
No, but poor old Hugh.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'll just say poor old Hugh. But then the BBC is well known for protecting its paedophiles.
Of course, yes, and it's quite that's what the BBC headline about Lucy Connolly's release. So, just the woman who made a racist tweet released. I just thought the BBC they just keep digging, don't they? They're not. They have no intention of trying to save themselves at this point.
And very quickly before 4D says his piece, the BBC is losing viewers like you wouldn't believe. People are stopping paying the licensing fee. They're just switching off the BBC. So it's not publicised much, but it's happening.
It is. Absolutely is. And I think it goes to show that they don't really need the license fee. They get funding from elsewhere. And I think they probably feel that that they can probably survive without it because they are subsidized by the government still, separate from the license fee. But I think more importantly is the fact that it's just people are not taking them seriously anymore. People don't trust them anymore, and I think that's the point.
way out of this, which is being put up the flag, which is a flag being put up the flagpole, is that because of this, which isn't really happening apparently, but is, of course, is that BBC, there are plans for the BBC to be funded from general taxation.
I think it already is, to be honest with you.
Yep. So all of us will be paying, even though those of us refuseniks who, like myself, who just will not pay. I don't even have a telly.
Yep. I'm sure there is. They're getting funds from. They're getting public funds outside of the license fee anyway. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, well, they are the state mouthpiece. Like, basically they're like Radio Moscow or any other state broadcaster.
Yeah.
The Nazi one, I forget the name, but yes, it's pretty much the same. In any totalitarian, authoritarian society has a state mouthpiece.
Like I said, I think the key point here is the fact that people are not watching or listening to them anymore, regardless of whether they're funded. If people are not listening to them, then that's the main thing, because they become whatever they decide to put out is not being swallowed by the public.
Yeah.
But very a nice little segue there, Viv, talking about putting flags up. This Operation Raise the Colours, which has been gaining traction over the last week or so, where a lot of people around the country have just been going out and putting up Union Jacks and St George's flags just all over the place, up lampposts and everywhere they can.
Before we go into that, I just wanted to say that are people aware of exactly what Hugh Edwards did? Because I looked into it, and they always just sort of say Hugh Edwards, and they do say sort of they don't ever say anything too bad, but and I don't know how much, again, YouTube are going to allow me to say, but he was making the stuff that we're talking about. So I want people, I know we've only got a few listeners, but I want those few listeners to understand he was making the this damn stuff that we're talking about, which is, as far as I'm concerned, that is the worst version of what he did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just to be specific, when you talk about making this stuff, that implies something very serious. When you say making it. So
that's what I wanted to put out there, is that let's remember he was making this stuff.
So you're saying he was actually recording, videoing, and photoing these actual events in person? Is that what you're saying?
You can't ever see the actual documents of what actually was said in court and stuff, but they've just said that he was making it. So that could be being the star of it, recording it, but it still means, as far as I'm concerned, the worst version, or if there is a worst version of what we're talking about, that is it, though.
Well, to me, that implies he was physically, actively involved.
Yes. Yeah, that's that to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Which,
isn't it?
at the beginning, I always hate myself for getting into these deep things, because I don't want to know this stuff. It really does trigger my PTSD. But in the early days, it was just that he was involved in CP, and that was bad enough. But yeah, when you get into it, it's almost Sir Jimmy Savile. It's almost as bad as that stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe as, if not worse.
Yeah.
I personally don't know the intricate details of either of those two people's activities, but involved in any way, shape, or form is enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think Edwards would have been quite as. I mean, how do you quantify bad? But it's all bad. Right. It's all bad, isn't it? But in terms of numbers, Savile was pretty prolific, let's say, and he did some really shocking things. But then again, he was never prosecuted, but he would have been let off, I suppose.
Yeah, well, he was mates with royalty. He was There's no way he was untouchable. That's probably why he did it and got away with it for so long, because he was actually untouchable. As Hugh Edwards has lost his job, but he's still a free man. So in a sense, he's also.
I should never forget Boris Johnson bringing up the connection between Keir Starmer and him in Parliament. I always, to this day, I still think that was a definite look in the eyes, and he was going to push it further, perhaps.
I'm not aware of that. What did he say? What was the?
Oh, you're not? Yeah, it was in one PMQ's 1 week. As you know, I'm a prolific watcher of it, and I can't remember what the subject they were talking about, but it had got really fiery. And near the end of it, Boris fired back at him. Let's not forget you were the head of CPS when Sir Vile was doing what he was doing, and the house erupted, and the short guy that was the speaker sort of said, right, you gotta let's calm down, sort of thing. And it was the way Boris, to be honest with you, it was the way Boris looked at him when he said it, and you could even see in Starmer's eyes that he was like, you've gone too far now, Boris. Yeah,
they all know.
Of course.
Yeah, such a corrupt hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah. Nice Star Wars quote.
As the Romans said, it's a cloaca, which is a toilet.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed. Well, do you want to talk about this raise the colours thing, or because
yeah.
All right, because we can get back onto Starmer in a little while, but yeah,
I'm a sucker for it. I won't say how much, but I've just spent a fortune getting loads of flags, so I'm a sucker for it, and I'm going to get involved. Yeah,
get yourself a ladder.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm lucky. I've got a very leafy tree area, and I've already in my head got a few places that might need some flags. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was really great to see. I haven't seen any around my way, but I don't really expect to. But apparently, there's lots of places. Birmingham was a hot point where loads of people were just going around putting up flags, and of course, the council then came and started taking them down. Of course, Palestinian flags, no problem, they could stay up, but the actual flag of this country, no, you can't have that.
Library of Birmingham was lit up in green and white for Pakistan's Independence Day.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
And I see the council could get out and clean the roundabouts that had St George's crosses put on them in the same area that they still haven't sorted out the bins.
Yeah, the small mini roundabouts, and it's just like a white circle, and people have been going out and painting a red cross over them, which I think is great. There's another one I saw earlier that they were out where you have the pedestrian crossings, like zebra crossings.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
And they were just walking across with a spray paint, and all the white sections just spraying a white cross on each one.
A red cross, you mean? But yeah,
a red cross. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Which is
it looks quite effective and cool, actually. I like it.
Yeah, and there's another meme going around about how, well, like you say, in Birmingham specifically, they can't collect the bins, but they can come out at a moment's notice and clean up these little roundabouts. And there's another thing about potholes, how the council never gets around to fixing potholes, and they said, well, there's a surefire way get them to come out and fix them immediately. Whenever you find a pothole, just paint a St George's cross in it, and they'll be out and they'll be filling it in immediately.
Oh damn! I should have got some red spray paint. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I would imagine the sales of red paint have gone up.
Yeah. You get the feeling. I do get a feeling something's changed over here. There's a buzz. People are ripping down the flags, as you're saying, and there's lots of other things going on. And this Bell Hotel. I mean, again, I don't know how big people realise this is, that and it's not that or it's good enough that the migrants got to move out, but it's the reasons of why they've got to move out. Are you two aware of the reasoning behind it?
I'm not sure. No.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the Bell Hotel in Epping and how the High Court has ruled that they have to close down in terms of housing migrants. So that's a win for all the locals who have been protesting over the last few weeks. But the implications are much spread much further afield, because now there's other councils, because this sets a precedent. So now there's other councils who are looking into doing the same thing, and this creates a massive problem for the government.
And one of the reasonings, which I just think there's no way for them around this, and thank goodness someone in the legal department has done this. But so the reasoning is it's registered as a hotel taking in migrants, and their argument is you cannot be a hotel when you're not letting the public use your facilities. So thus, you're not allowed legally to be a hotel that's having migrants. Now, there is no freaking way of them getting around that, because they're not going to have the general public in there, because it's going to cause violence. So every single hotel is going to either have to change not being a hotel quickly, or they're going to lose. Yeah.
Well, they need, if they're going to change from being a hotel to an HMO, then that's going to have to go through planning, local planning. So I don't know. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a bit like quickly going back to the flags. It is a criminal offence in contrary to the Town and County Planning Act to just hang these flags, and then the failure to take steps to secure the removal. So if they're going to remove flags, and people will put them up again, of course, then they have to remove all flags, including Palestinian flags.
Yes, but that's not that is not what has been happening, though.
Yeah, but but Tower Hamlets have had to do this.
Well, I noticed that whenever it was, it must have been it was last year, I think, sometime, and I was down in Tower Hamlets, and all of a sudden there were Palestinian flags everywhere on lampposts, and I just thought, this is insane. And they were up for maybe a couple of weeks, and then they got taken down. Then they were down. I mean, there's still a few up and around, but probably more on sort of personal, private properties. Tower Hamlets is it's just that sort of area anyway.
You can't do that. It's all about it's a question of whether the council owns whatever the streets and the street furniture, such as lampposts. So they are committing criminal offences under Town and County Planning Act if they don't remove them. So they're removing St George's Cross, but they have to remove them all.
Well, I think it should be. It's the flag of this country, so I think that should be perfectly fine to put that up anywhere, as long as it's not a hazard or a danger, which is probably the reasoning behind it. But how can a flag up on a lamppost be an issue? I don't really see that, unless there's something else which makes it a hazard. But having a flag flying from a lamppost is not an issue in my opinion. And
but it's contrary to that act. So what I'm saying is, if they're going to be removing Union Jacks and St George's Crosses, they need to remove all flags from council-owned property, which includes lampposts. But doesn't, of course, include. I wonder if it includes trees. Perhaps it does. I think it probably does.
Yeah.
But carry on as you were.
Well, I think there should be an exception. There should be an exception for flags of this country, for the national flag, because as people have pointed out, this is a flag which represents everybody in this country. This is not a niche.
That's right.
Minority movement. This is a flag of the nation. So
England's not really a country, though, is it?
Well, I consider it to be a country.
I do as well. I most certainly do.
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean by England's not a country then?
According to the overlords, according to the, I mean, we don't have representation in England as people do in the devolved areas, such as, well, of course, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland.
Well, it comes under the the opinion, well, not the opinion, the statement is that the UK is a country now, which I don't subscribe to that at all. I think, Wales is described these days as a principality, but to me, Wales is a country, just like Scotland is a country, just like England is a country. We're all separate countries. We're just, we're brought together into what is a political union, which is the United Kingdom.
That's right.
Yeah. When did this all start changing? For goodness' sake.
It started with devolution, except when England was left out of the devolution process. So, the implication is that England is the villain, really, and the other three nations are just freeing themselves from English dominance.
They're sucking off the teat of England, aren't they? They're still...
they are. That's I'm trying to put forward the twisted logic that goes behind this.
It's all politics, though, isn't it? That's the whole thing. It's all just politics. But I suppose it dates well. I mean, the UK, when UK created, because Great Britain was created in the late 1600s, early 1700s? Was that when? Because there's Great Britain and then there's the UK, which are two slightly different things. Because Great Britain is just England, Scotland, and Wales, whereas the UK is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's complicated, isn't it? Act of Union was 1707.
1707.
United Scotland and England into the Kingdom of Great Britain.
So it was on the Union of Scotland that we became Great Britain, was it?
That's right. Yeah, and then there was, and then in 1800, Great Britain was united with Ireland into the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, and of course, Ireland eventually won their freedom.
Well, the Republic did.
Republic. Sorry, yes, the Republic, indeed.
Yeah. So now it's Now it's Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which is effectively the United Kingdom.
Exactly. Yeah. I believe so. Although, if you look at your passport, it says the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. So
that's it. Really? I thought it said Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
I think it says Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but I'm not going to quote myself on that one. Yeah.
I'm going to go and look at my passport. Wait a minute. You carry on, Karen, as you were, gentlemen.
It's because to me it makes more sense of a United Kingdom, because that literally explains what we are. We're a bunch of countries that have united as a kingdom. It makes and it's a very British thing, the kingdoms, isn't it?
Yeah, but even that's kind of sort of there's a lot of shade being thrown on that, especially by the so-called king himself recently, who came out and said he doesn't believe in borders. Right?
I know. Yeah.
What an idiot! What an absolute idiot! I mean, if we have no borders, then he is irrelevant. Because
that was my first comment. Like, what a silly thing for him to say. He should be the one who says, "Oh no, definitely borders exist," because otherwise you're no longer relevant. Yeah,
he is a complete weft puppet. He's absolutely just completely captured that one. He needs to go. The sooner he pops his clogs, the better.
I don't think I've ever known a time where so many soldiers are saying how they're not. They always say, "Oh, sorry, I love the Queen, but not this guy." And yeah, it's a really horrible time when no one's behind our royalty, head of royalty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I think that's not just the army. I think you might find that in a lot of the longer serving police officers as well.
Yes,
I bet there's a lot of them who are just biding their time to get out, and they can't wait to get out because of the way things are going.
You well, the way for that, and this is a bit of a off the cuff one anyway. Are you aware of a guy called John Wedger?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I see. He's popped back up now. He opened my eyes to a lot of stuff actually, and yeah, I noticed he's come back because he'd gone disappeared for ages.
Well, he came out, yeah, because he's an ex-policeman, isn't he? Yeah,
that's why you made me think of it.
Yeah, a few years back, I came across him, and he was coming out and talking about the pedo rings and this, that, and the other. And then there was something I can't remember exactly now, but there was something else came out which kind of discredited him, and there's the usual. It's probably like some kind of psyop, and like you say, he went quiet. And yeah, you did mention. I think you posted something about him. When was it? Last week or something, or fairly recently. So yeah, what's he? Is he just popped up and saying the same thing, or has he got a new angle now?
No, it's pretty much the same stuff. He's sticking with that the satanic stuff. I had a personal conversation with him that went for some time, and getting to the point where I wanted to know if I could work with him, as in probably something similar like this. I just wanted to talk and get some stuff out there, but he was already doing it, and he had sort of spoke to me. We were going to meet up, and then like he went quiet on YouTube and everywhere else, he actually went quiet on the text messages as well. And I genuinely think, because I always thought, if he's a real guy and if this is real, he's in danger, because he was saying some hardcore stuff. And then I thought, I'll know if he's a fraud if nothing happens. But to have gone away for a year or two and then come back doesn't really say anything. But I did hear that he's meant to be a fraud, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything to make me believe he's a fraud anyway.
Yeah, there was that. I mean, he may have been tried to have been scared off if he is or was legit. And maybe now he feels the climate is changing, so it's maybe a bit safer for him to kind of start coming back out again. Who knows?
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
So he had to lay low for a while until things, the Overton window, as they say, sort of started shifting, which it definitely is now. But yeah, I don't know enough about him to really know if he's a good guy or not. But he was coming out and saying some really quite serious stuff. So a few years back.
Just before he got sort of chucked off, he was doing quite a few in-depth interviews with victims, and the amount of those he did also said to me he couldn't be a fraud, or there would be no reason for him to be a fraud on this sort of thing.
Yeah. Maybe he just got in a little bit too deep at the time. Maybe he was just a bit too ahead of his time. Who knows?
That's what I think. Yeah. What's it say, Viv?
It says United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which is a bit confusing, but Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom.
It is. I mean, it's what it's saying is that Great Britain and Northern Ireland is the United Kingdom. That's effectively what it's saying, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, is Northern Ireland British? I don't know. I'm not really quite sure about this.
Well, I don't. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, well, God, I think a lot of people in Northern Ireland did care, didn't they? Hence the bombings and the killings and all that.
Yeah, I don't mean it in quite in that way, but
yeah, but I know,
isn't it? It's just.
I know.
I think it's showing the build up of the United Kingdom, in as much as like it was England. Then once we were with Scotland, it became Briton, and then you add those. So you asked, are they British? I suppose in the concept of law, no, they're not, because the Union of Britain didn't involve any part of Ireland. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, probably loosely speaking, conveniently, yes, it is part of Britain. The United Kingdom is effectively Britain, isn't it? They're kind of interchangeable these days, aren't they? Although technically speaking, Northern Ireland is not part of Great Britain.
No, it isn't. That's wrong. It isn't, but it's considered British. I mean, there are folk over there with the bowler hats, the bowler hat brigade. They're always saying they're British. Technically, it's not in Britain, so it's not British, but it is in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, which is like I said, that is still considered British, isn't it? The United Kingdom is Britain. That's like I said, it's
Britain is the island with England, Scotland, and Wales. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying earlier. I don't quite get it. That it doesn't kind of seem clear to me, really. Some people say yes, it is. Some people say they don't. But others say that Britain is only that particular island on which we stand, composed of England, Scotland, and Wales, and the associated islands like Isle of Man, whatever. But Northern Ireland doesn't include Northern Ireland, but Northern Ireland is in the United Kingdom, so it's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, technically, it's not Britain. It's not part of Britain.
Yes. But for people to say they are people in Northern Ireland are British is acceptable, isn't it? You can say that.
I believe so. I believe it's acceptable under the terms of the Good Friday Agreement. Maybe some people from Northern Ireland can expand on this, or any listeners in the public.
It's not put down, by the way, to say that Northern Ireland is not part of Britain. It's not meant in that way at all. It's just
it isn't. Yes. I must say that. I've got to say that.
Yeah.
I have to say that. Yeah. If you.
It's exactly the same as what I was just going to say, is because we are a very complicated bunch, bless us. But so we've just spoke about England, Britain, and the United Kingdom. But so the United Kingdom is a kingdom of countries that are under the same banner. So you then, I know this is a silly question, but I'd say, so why isn't Australia, Canada, and places like that, why aren't they part of the United Kingdom? But then we say
Commonwealth.
Then we changed the word, and then we said now this is part of the Commonwealth, which is the complicated bunch. That's all it is. We have to have different names for everything.
Well, Commonwealth is kind of the remnants of empire, isn't it? In a sense.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the head of the Commonwealth countries is in title at least the King or the Queen of England, but they are separate countries. They have their own parliaments. They have their own prime minister.
But so does Scotland.
Yes, that's true.
That's all I'm saying. Is really and truly, it's the same as being part of the United Kingdom, but legally and word wise, we have to say no. That's now the Commonwealth. But it's all very silly and particular, and
it's meaningful though, in a sense.
Yeah,
it's meaningful.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, I mean, there's still a fair amount of Scottish people who want Scottish independence, and I'm fine with that. If they want to go independent, that's fine. Don't have a problem with that. But it did raise a thought in my mind. What would, if Scotland did gain its independence from Great Britain or the UK, it became a country on its own, what would the Union Jack then have to be changed to? Because you'd have to take the Scottish flag out of the Union Jack, which is basically the blue background and the two white diagonal stripes.
St Andrew, the Saltire, that would have to go. Oh, how strange.
I'd fire that back at you and say, why do you think, or why did you say, it's fine if they want to leave us? I'd be the absolute opposite to you. I'd say, no, you don't have the right to leave us. That's and I know that sounds very communist. You don't have the right. How dare you? But because of the flag, and again because of things that you are part of our country, and to walk away from it is just it would not benefit either country either. Scotland could not survive without the penny that comes from London.
But I think silly. It would be silly. I'm not saying it would be a good idea for them,
And it wouldn't be good for us either. We'd lose a huge amount. I mean, yeah, it's silly for both sides, I think.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm English, and I think
yes,
our English, strictly English identity has been eroded by what the union has become. And so if Scotland were to gain their independence, it would strengthen our independence, the English independence as well. It would give our nation, the nation of England, a stronger identity.
I mean,
but it's that question.
I'll chuck mine in a minute, and you won't like this. Okay, but go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, least we forget. It still comes into it. We fought for that country. No offence to any Scotland, and I love Scottish, and I love the English, and all of us. We're all great people, but we kicked your ass. We took you over. Tough shit. If we say Scotland can have independence, we'll have to go around the world. And do you know the amount of countries and bits of countries that would break up? It would be ridiculous. And I'm not saying come and have a war with us, because that would be stupid as well. But there is this kind of historical. Look, just take it. We kicked your ass, and that's the way it was.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, over the years, England has kicked the asses of a lot of countries, but but the Commonwealth is it's not what it used to be. Britain doesn't have the same control over the countries of the Commonwealth that it used to. There's no issue with them kind of having their own independence.
And also, again, because I do love Scotland, when I say we kicked your ass, I realised I was getting a bit patriotic and silly, because I know that we were horrible, and the whole how we got into Scotland, how we took you over, was absolutely appalling. And apologies for all of that as well. I'm not saying that we were good. I didn't mean it in any way other than that was just the way it was back in the day.
What's that beeping sound? Is that 4D in reverse?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah.
I think the Act of Union, basically both nations decided to join together. I don't know. There wasn't exactly any violence, but there was a Treaty of Union, so it just joined England and Scotland, both kingdoms, into a single political state.
But as
so
you say,
it wasn't really accomplished with violence. You could say that Scotland, in a sense, has never really been defeated. The Romans couldn't defeat it.
No, they stopped, didn't they? They said they were too barbarous or something to be tamed.
Well, they had to build a wall. They had to build Hadrian's Wall to keep them out.
So they say, yeah. So,
but I mean,
I don't know.
There are. Sorry, Viv, go on.
I'm simply saying that it's England and Scotland did have different monarchs, and then, funnily enough, James became of Scotland. James the
Sixth.
James the Sixth, yes, of Scotland. The crowns had a kind of union because James became James the First.
Well, Elizabeth I didn't have any heirs, so
yes, exactly.
That's how James the Sixth of Scotland became James the First of England. But I mean,
exactly. I think there was an agreement between the both nations in a sense, because James wanted to unite the two nations, but this took a while, maybe 100 years or so.
It was a lot of upper class backstabbery, basically.
Goes without saying.
There was also a kind of a religious element because since Henry VIII, England had become a Protestant country, and Scotland was still a Catholic country, and James VI was a Catholic. So when he became James I of England, we reverted back to a Catholic monarch again.
True. That led to a lot of problems, actually. It certainly did. It led to a Dutch person becoming the king. Eventually,
it
William of Orange. Yeah,
it was was it the Glorious Revolution? He pretty much sailed over and took over without a fight, didn't he?
But James also created Church of Scotland and England. He wanted a centralised unionist state, and yeah, Church of Scotland was Calvinist, though. Remember, and then you had Presbyterians, so it wasn't necessarily Catholic as such.
Yeah, I think James I was very aware of the complications of him being Catholic, and I think he did kind of handle it with kid gloves to a certain extent. As to
I mean, the continent on continental Europe, they had a horrible religious wars, hideous wars, which went on for ages between Protestants and Catholics. That's why we've got a lot of French people with French names here, who fled France to come to England, called Huguenots. What a mess! What a mess!
Yeah, but I mean, just getting back to the Scotland thing as well. The one thing which does strike me is there is an awful lot of patriotic Scots who serve in the British military as well. As I'm sure you can attest to, 4D. There does seem to be a very large amount of Scots in the military.
Yeah. Some great regiments. So yes, yeah.
But I think there have been wars between England and Scotland. I think I may be wrong. During the protectorate of Oliver Cromwell.
I'm aware of Edward I. He was known as Hammer of the Scots, wasn't he?
He
went up there and just gave them hell.
Yeah.
But that's going back before Cromwell's time.
Yeah. It's very, very complicated.
Yes.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, totally.
What a shit show, eh? This country.
Isn't it just? And it's where are we going? Are we adrift? Are we floating? Are we adrift? I think so. In some ways, on the political level, on even the global level. I mean, this is like an experimental island. You always see these islands like the islands of Ireland, like Japan and UK, is used as testing sites.
Well, it does seem like we are either on the cusp of a massive adjustment of some kind or another in this country.
Yeah, it's the Great Reset.
Yeah, but there's a good reset and there's a bad reset.
Yeah.
But things are changing for sure. I think at last the people of this country are starting to kind of wake up, slowly but surely, and are starting to find their voice. There are signs of encouragement, but
I know. I don't want to sound too down about it, but it is an extraordinary time.
It is.
Absolutely. It is. Yeah, and even Tommy Robinson. I think I might have mentioned this last week. There's a much more freer way he's talking. He's laughing a lot more, and he's kind of sort of putting people down and saying, "You thought you'd silence me," and he's kind of laughing at them. And there's a lot. There's just, that's what I'd say. There's a change in the air at the moment. There really is.
Yeah, he is certainly not the social pariah that he was 5-10 years ago. He is slowly but surely becoming more accepted. I think mainly because of his what he's been saying all the time. He's not changed from his from the things he's been pointing out. for even going back to when he was like the days of the English Defence League, his message has not changed. He's been on message all the time, and now things are starting to basically come back. And he's little by little, he's been proven right. What he's been saying all of this time is now starting to seep into like the general public's acceptance. It's like, oh, I think maybe still a lot of people don't realize what he's been saying because of just the way he's been outcast by the media, and they've never really bothered listening to him. But they are starting now to kind of come to the same conclusions about things that he has been saying all the time. And so does seem to be a bit of a convergence going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he even did an interview with Trigonometry. Do you know those guys?
Yes, I do. Yes, Constantine Kissing and the other fella.
Yeah, Francis Foster. And interestingly enough, about those two, when they first started up, I used to watch them. We're going back pre-2020, and I used to watch their podcasts and their interviews, and I quite liked them. I thought they're pretty good. But they wouldn't touch Tommy Robinson with a barge pole. And their followers and their listeners would always ask them, "Well, you should get Tommy Robinson on. You should get Tommy Robinson on." And they were like adamant, "No, we're not going to go there. We're not going to touch that." And now, lo and behold, they're interviewing Tommy Robinson. So what changed? And one thing which put me off of those guys, which is connected as well, which I stopped listening to them, was back in 2020, after the American election, the US election, when all of us who were paying attention were of the opinion that it was stolen and it was rigged for Biden. And at the time, they were once again being asked, "Oh, you should get someone on to talk about the election," and they refused. And Constantine Kissing actually came out and gave a reason why. Just completely, I couldn't believe it, because he seems to me like a pretty intelligent guy. And he actually said, lots of people have been asking us to get people on to talk about the US election, and we're not going to do it. And the reason we're not going to do it is because we don't know enough about it. That was his excuse. That was his reason. And I just thought, that is just, you guys are just cowards, basically. They're just looking to protect their channel, because they knew, because that was when everyone was getting kicked off of all the conservatives were getting kicked off of social media. You couldn't talk about any of that stuff, and they were only interested in preserving their channel. And I just thought, you guys are just, you're not the genuine article. And like I just mentioned, it's like they at the time they wouldn't touch Tommy Robinson, but now it's okay. It's acceptable now to interview Tommy Robinson. So I don't have a lot of respect for those guys.
Yeah, I don't really watch them. I do watch them sometimes, but
So,
what I was going to say though is about Scottish independence is it's basically autonomy. It's if they want to be autonomous, then fine, but so do I. I'm a great supporter of there's a country called Sealand, which is very near to where I live. You can see it if you go to Felixstowe. But it's a nation. It's a floating platform in the North Sea.
Oh, the old forts, the old floating forts.
It's a fort, yeah. And I think that's basically it's a principality. It's a micronation, in other words.
People live on those.
So. Forts. Yeah, it's still it's unrecognised, but it's on the Ruffs Tower, just off from Felixstowe in the North Sea.
We've got about 3 or 4 just off Portsmouth, and one of them famously was sold when I was a child, and they built a helipad and some tennis courts and stuff. But they're very strange. They're very strange. There's very strange laws and stuff around them.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Sealand's not recognised, but
that's it. Yeah.
Because the main point is Sealand isn't recognised by other countries because they don't want that to happen in other countries, do they? You know, I'm all for having a little republic somewhere else, somewhere on, you know, putting up a flag. In England, within England, it would be an English micronation.
that is within my four walls. I think that already within the four walls of my home.
It exists here, yes, indeed, as well. That's right. So, I mean, because the British government is a criminal organisation, I don't have any loyalty to them. We don't have an English Parliament, so I don't consider myself as represented. I consider every councillor, every single politician as a usurper and a criminal.
Yeah, well, this is it. We don't have an English Parliament, but there's a Scottish Parliament. How does that work?
Well, because England's the villain, as I said earlier,
and Scotland is subsidised by England. So we, you know, they do very well off of being in the Union, and they probably would find it very, very difficult to survive as an independent nation.
Yeah, but then they said that about Ireland, and it's doing all right. So I don't know, honestly. I really don't know what to. You know, you only know when it happens or if it happens.
Yeah, it probably won't. I doubt if it will. I don't think I'll have to be honest with you.
No,
I mean, the Scottish Nationalist Party are just they've failed miserably.
They have, yes, through corruption, through all. But then that's natural with politicians. The idea, the definition, unofficial declaration of a politician is a member of a mafia cabal. So of course that's going to happen. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that all political parties are corrupt and competing mafia cabals.
Yeah, seems that way.
There we go. You know, that's me.
Just going back to something Bron said earlier about the possibilities of who would take over Keir Starmer, and you mentioned Shere Khan as one of them. And I don't know if you'd noticed that, and I'll give a shout out to the channel, the UK News Network now, but they've been doing a lot of publicising the MPs grilling him on his work as London Mayor. Have you caught any of that coming up on your feeds?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, some of it. I posted something on my Substack called "London Is Gone."
They're really showing him up to be an absolute penile wart, and so I don't think he's got a chance. I think again, another one. It's now his turn to be in the spotlight. He's getting a real grilling at the moment, and that ridiculous imbecile that's his number two, that female.
Oh, not Heidi Alexander. Is that her?
Might be. I can't remember. Thin black girl with glasses. Absolute idiot. Absolute.
Yeah. Oh yes, I saw that. Yeah, no, that's not Heidi Alexander. Oh yeah. I mean, bloody hell. I mean, complete. Just yeah. She's completely out of her depth. I saw that. Yeah, she was just didn't have an answer to anything, did she?
I think I think I'm right in saying she's the deputy mayor. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't even know who she was until I saw that. So I wasn't even aware of her. But yeah, I mean, it's the word is that he feels he's outgrown his role of the London Mayor. I don't think he ever grew into it in the first place. So I mean, there's kind of like two ways of looking at it. If if he doesn't run for the next mayoral election, that'll be a kind of maybe a merciful thing for Londoners in one way, that he won't be there, but maybe not a merciful thing because whoever comes in to run in his place could be even worse. But also, if he decides to go for like the Labour leadership or a higher position within the Labour Party, he will go, instead of just being local to London, he will go national, which will put an even bigger spotlight on him. And and get more attention from the whole nation rather than just from London. So, I mean, he's another psychopath. I really think he's a psychopath.
Yeah, he's a real nasty piece of work. The way he talks to people, the way he sits there, the way he looks, he's so narcissistic,
so arrogant, arrogant.
Yeah.
And can you imagine? Right, here's a scenario. I don't think it'll ever happen, but this would be really interesting if there was a challenge for Starmer and it was Khan who got in. He would effectively, unless there was an election called, he would effectively become the prime minister. Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine the relationship that he would have with Donald Trump?
God, oh yeah.
Oh, that would be something to behold. I mean, Trump's playing all real nicey with Starmer. He keeps calling him his friend. Yeah, we're friends. He's a good guy. He's doing a good job, which is really annoying to hear him say that. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't believe it. He's just doing that for other reasons. That wouldn't happen with Khan. I'm sure it would be just not the same. But yeah,
3 years to go. Anyway, 3 years to go. A lot of time. A lot of things change in 3 years. So
yeah, I really don't believe Starmer's going to last that long. I really can't see it. His own party
are
going to get.
No, I mean, Khan. I'm saying is 2028. Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
2028 is the next election. So
yeah, I mean, I can't see that really making any difference. Ant Middleton looks like the best bet, but he's going to go independent. He's not going to get in. Reform are going to probably go with that woman Layla Cunningham, who is incidentally also a Muslim. But I think it's going to be another Labour Conservative in London for mayor again.
Yeah, it will. I mean, my view again. I know it's a bit left field, but it should be abolished. The role needs to be abolished.
I agree. Yeah, it's useless, pointless.
We don't need it. It's another layer of bureaucracy. We need to trim away bureaucracy totally down to the root, salt the ground, start again.
Yep, strip it all back, get rid of all the waste.
Cut them all back, salt the ground, prosecute the criminals, small government. I don't believe in government. I'm not a Democrat. So get rid of it. Get rid of it all. But then, that's me being a dreamer. It's not going to happen. I know that. But at least we can do it on an individual level, perhaps. Because I can't see anything like this changing. They just fit. The whole thing is a fix.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly won't happen overnight. But I think we've got to kind of look at sort of baby steps in that direction. Realistically speaking, if things are going to get better, it's going to be incremental. Just sort of
nothing's going to get better with politicians in charge.
No, but the nature of the system could change, which will then change the nature of the politicians within it.
Well, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
The other big thing that was going on was the whole Ukraine-Russia talks, Trump meeting with Putin, and then meeting with all the UN people. And I found it very interesting that Starmer was absolutely pushed out in as much as he was the last one to speak. He wasn't in the photograph. I know a lot of people have picked up that he had a fat lip. I'd love to think that Trump gave him a right hook, but that I'm sure that didn't happen. It was probably his wife. But he got a real arse whipping. I thought he was, and I don't know how many people also picked up Trump when he was going around the table saying, "Right now you talk, now you talk." He went around the table and everyone had a title, so he would say, such and such, and the name of the person, and so on and so forth, and go down and down. When he got to Starmer, I don't know how many people noticed this, but he said he didn't call him by his name. He just said, "Now you, Mr. Prime Minister." And I thought the Mr. Prime Minister was just such a kick in the head.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was hilarious when the White House released that picture, as you just mentioned, 4D, when it's all of them sitting around in front of Trump's desk, and Starmer was right off to the left in the group, but he'd been cropped out of the picture. He wasn't in the picture, and that was an official White House release of the picture. And I just thought that can't be by accident. That is just
That's America basically saying to him, "You're nothing to do with this, mate."
Yeah.
As much as you want to tell your people that you're doing all this. What's he call it? The
coalition of the willing.
Cheers. Yeah, your coalition of the willing, mate. But you're nothing to do with the big boys talk, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few others within that group that I think I'd class, like as useless as Starmer, but the what was that on his lip? Was that herpes? Did he have like some kind of VD on his face? It certainly looked like it.
Well, he'd probably been up with his rent boys.
Yeah,
he likes a Ukrainian rent boy, doesn't he? We know that.
Yeah, and also
allegedly,
yeah. Allegedly.
Well, until the trial, let's wait for the trial, eh?
Yeah, well, allegedly because they might burn his house down again.
Yeah.
But also something else which I noticed. I don't really know how relevant it is, but at the very beginning when they're all sitting around the table and Trump's sort of doing his introductions and just doing his little spiel and talk, introducing each one. And you saw Meloni, the Italian prime minister, and her body language was really odd. She was sitting there. I mean, Trump was sort of just, introducing each one, sitting around the table and just giving a little speech about who they are and what they were doing. And she was sitting there, she had first of all, she had her head rested in her hand. And then she started playing with her hair. And she was kind of like looking up at the ceiling and looking around. She looked really disinterested, really like as if she was not interested in being there, or she just saw this a waste of time.
Was it the German chancellor that she got caught rolling her eyes at?
Oh, Merz, yeah.
It was all interesting.
What is going on there? This is really weird. She's really giving off some very definite vibes here,
Yeah. It's one of those boss moves, and only women can do that sort of boss move. It's almost childlike, as you were saying. That look at me, I'm not concentrating, but that's not what it means. It means I'm showing you that I couldn't give a damn what you're talking about, and I think that's it's a power move from her.
I mean, quite which way to take it, I'm not sure, because she was doing it when Trump was talking, and so whether she was doing it in reaction to him, or whether she was doing it in reaction to the person that Trump was talking about and introducing, it's hard to say, But it was really obvious. Either way, it was just like, whoa, that's it didn't look right for someone who would be sitting at that table.
The other dynamic that didn't seem right was how each of them, one by one, would say how Trump was special and this was Trump's work, and thank goodness Trump had done it. And I thought, when you're not in this room, you're saying the absolute opposite to this. And we're talking the French leader was there, the German chancellor, and all the different imbeciles that are involved in it, and they were all playing up or blowing up his arse, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was all optics for the cameras. It was all just complete bullshit for the cameras, because I mean that was evidence, as I said, is how Trump always talks so nicely about Starmer, and it's like there's no way that you really think that about Starmer. There's no way, because you've got all of the other people around you. You've got JD Vance, you've got Jim Jordan putting pressure on the UK government, always talking about free speech, how our free speech is just being completely destroyed here. And Trump just seems to kind of really just, okay, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Okay, I'm going to play Mr. Nice Guy, but you guys can do all the dirty work. So, there's much more going on there, much more going on than meets the eye, sure.
Yeah, I can't see anything changing, to be honest.
Do you not? I think this is. I think we must be coming up to a crescendo for it, and I think.
No, it's up to Russia. Russia holds the cards. Russia needs to destroy the Ukrainian fascists.
No, this is all a game, mate. This is all. I still think this is to do with the biolabs. I still think this is.
That's what I'm saying.
And the Nazis, the last sort of group of Nazis in the world.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, the West as well needs, or certainly elements that the ultra rich need, and the various corporations, etc., and the governments need Ukraine as a laundry to wash the money. What do people actually think all that money is going? What's happening to all that money? It's being washed. It's like an American candy store that are popped up everywhere. They're launderers. They're simply money laundering.
Yeah, but whether the full truth will be known to the public or not is irrelevant. Part of it is that the likes of Trump and other world leaders are well aware of what has actually happened. And let's remind our things of big things like Nord Stream 2 being blown up. You know, these aren't little things that have happened. These are massive world events. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Donbass and Crimea are given back to Russia. And I wouldn't be surprised if something like something like what we did to Germany after the Second World War, where this coalition of the willing will say that they will secure peace in the country by bringing our troops into their country and patrolling their country.
But that would be really bad if the UN get involved. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know.
They're going to have to do something. Yeah. They're going to have to do something to make because obviously I think Russia is going to have to win out of this, and that's why I think they'll get a lot of land out of it. But I think you've got to also sort of say to the Ukrainians, right, you know, you're not the loser here. We're going to help you. And I don't know how we get them to come to the negotiating table, but I think it'd be something like that where countries will give them money, even though we've given them loads, and we'll give them troops and stuff. Now, like you said, Russia doesn't want that. There's no way he wants UN troops on his borders. So whatever deals are going to get done are going to be very much more complicated than that. But I do think we're coming up to a deal time, because I think the biolabs have probably already been taken over. I think both sides are aware that Putin's got the evidence, and whatever games they're playing between each other is just that I think it's going to come to an end now.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I do hope so, because it's a horrible slaughter. It's a meat grinder, isn't it? You know, as a military man, you know it's a meat grinder, and we know that Russia is just formidable. It could drag on for years and years going on. Quite simply, Russia's demands are to stop the ethnic cleansing, which was NATO's demands for in Bosnia. In the former Yugoslavia. So ethnic cleansing in Donbass has to stop, and Russia won't accept NATO troops on the border, as was stated that they wouldn't. But if they're going to, and then this idea of allowing Ukraine into the EU, you know, all this stuff is a provocation.
I don't think that can happen. I mean, you almost will say you can't stop a country from joining, I suppose, but I think that would be too bad. I don't know.
Well, these are all the details that have got to be that have got to be ironed out, which is the complexity of it. I mean, in terms of you say giving Donbass and Crimea back to the Russians, well, that they can't give them back because the Russians already control those areas. They have them already.
Yes. But the UN have been saying that he has to give it back, haven't they?
Of course, but that's not going to happen. Russia are not going to give those back.
No.
And that's where I think where one of the lines in the sand that Russia is going to demand on. It's like, no, we're going to keep these territories. But also, like you say, if putting for the rest of Ukraine, putting NATO troops in there also is not acceptable to the Russians, because that's one of the main reasons why the conflict started, because they didn't want NATO bordering on Russia. That was one of the major things.
I don't think the Russian demands have changed. They demanded that the ethnic cleansing in that ethnically Russian, the Russian-speaking areas should stop. And they've gone further and kind of annexed those areas now. Secondly, they wanted the Ukrainian military to denazify, because it is stuff full of maniacs, really. Like right sector and Azov and all those groups with the crazy tattoos and runic symbols and all that business. And that's thirdly, they don't want them. They don't want EU or NATO encroaching on Russian borders. That's quite important to them.
Yeah.
Well, I think Ukraine are in a no-win situation. They're in a rock place in between a rock, because there's no way that if this carries on as just, if they don't reach some kind of agreement, Ukraine have to agree pretty much to Russia's terms. Otherwise, Russia is just going to keep on grinding them to the ground. And I think it's kind of, a lot of it is about saving face now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, for anyone that's not aware, look up the Azov Battalion, and you might be shocked at what you find out. But
oh yeah, mental. They're a mental bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, they're marching around with swastikas. Come on, people.
Oh, and they've got some crazy idealisms as well. So yeah. Be very careful.
Yeah, what's that bunch? You know, it's a little bit weird, just a little bit.
Oh, I think it's that bad that Bronze has decided he's going.
yeah.
Oh no, he's decided he can't handle it. He's back.
Yeah, but I mean, the main thing is to stop the slaughter, isn't it? Or I don't know. Is that just me being a little,
No, you're right. And as an ex-squaddy myself, it does make me feel sick that this has been going on so long, and it is for nothing, as they all are. I suppose I shouldn't justify any of them, but yeah, it's sickening to know all the different. What was the numbers Trump was saying? Something like, was it 5,000 a day are dying? Or, am I right in saying that figure?
God knows. Do we really know? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe Trump's right.
Well, one man a day is disgusting and horrible, so it doesn't matter. It's just terrible. It really is. And
yeah, I know.
People dying for rich people's agendas. You know, as I say, when I was 16 and joined up, I wasn't thinking of anything like that. And it's not until you get a bit older and you think the absolute waste of all of this is terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I mean, it'd be different if people were defending their nation, but I don't think. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, there's so much weirdness in Ukraine that goes beyond, simply defending the nation from a Russian assault. You know, so I don't know. I mean, were the Yugoslavs, former Yugoslavs, were they justified in defending countries against NATO assault? I don't know. You know,
we're all as bad and silly as each other, where we'll defend our country from foreigners trying to take us over, but we never look within and look at the leaders and say, hang on, like, this is just as bad as a country invading, which is exactly what's happening at the moment. We've got a class of people invading us, an ideology.
Yeah. Ideology, and a certain ideology, a globalist ideology. There are very rich, very powerful financial figures who have decided that, what we're going to do is we're going to bring down the West to the level of the third world, so that we, it's all going to be brought down, and eventually we'll have a global government. The people installed, I said, by such groups as the World Economic Forum and their global leaders.
The penetrates cabinet.
Yeah. We have infiltrated, and what they've put in are the worst examples of humanity, the most useless, incompetent, people, so that maybe people will say, well, maybe a world government would be better. Maybe that's fine. Look at this shit show. We got Macron in France. We've got Trudeau. We've got Starmer. You know, maybe maybe this is very clever. I don't know. But I do suspect something.
No, I like that as a scenario, just because I like the idea of the likes of Macron and Starmer realizing that they were just played because they were stupid, and they were just there to make the world government come in, and the reasoning being because they were stupid. I'd love them to find that out.
Yeah, and they were chosen not for their competency, but their incompetency, because they're just so useless. There's no charisma. You know, I keep on going on about that old German sociologist. What the hell is it? Oh, Max Weber, who talked about charisma in leaders, and he said a leader needs some kind of charisma to carry people with him. If you don't have that charisma, Starmer is totally lacking in charisma. You know. I mean, I don't know who had charisma. I suppose Margaret Thatcher had a lot of charisma. With Winston Churchill, I guess Clement Attlee after the First World War, but there haven't been a great many prime ministers who've had that actual charisma. Then people have thought, well, you know what, he's a trustworthy person. When you look at Starmer, you think, no, this person is completely untrustworthy.
You could say, it could be said that Tony Blair had charisma.
Yes. You're absolutely right. And I'm not saying, I don't think Weber meant that he's just talking it on a particular level. I don't think he means that they're kind of good people in the sense of being good for the nation. Doesn't necessarily mean that. Adolf Hitler had an awful lot of charisma.
It's funny you talk about charisma. We had a saying in the army for leaders in the army, and I suppose that's the point. It's a different kind of leader in the army. We would say often that there was two types of leaders. There was one that commanded respect and one that demanded respect. And it's not charisma. It's this ability. And I think this is where Tommy Robinson, he's more of the military leader, where he's got this, he commands respect. He doesn't ever demand it. But people like me want to follow him. And it's definitely a charisma involved, but there's something different in a mirror. Not, I don't want to say militaristic. I just want to say someone who's a fighting kind of leader, and I don't mean punchy fighting. Just a fighter type of leader. It's more that people want to do what you tell them to do, which is a very interesting thing.
It's almost just like a shithead master, really.
Yeah, well, it's. I think what you're saying, Fordy, is leading by example. You know,
that's probably the largest part of it, I suppose. Yeah.
And Starmer is, well, his example is is crap. Nobody wants to follow someone like, you know, his examples. Whereas someone like
I don't know. I'm sure Ukrainian rent boys, some people like them. You
know.
You talk about them a lot. I'm worried about you, boy.
We've got Romanians here, not Ukrainians. So,
time check, guys.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, I don't know about jokes, but isn't it Bronze's turn to choose one of the near forgotten heroes of British comedy?
I believe so, yeah. And I'm kind of really I can't decide. I've got a few in my head. We can do comedic actors. Can we do comedic actors rather than just straight comedians?
Oh, for sure. I think anyone who definitely, yeah.
I'd agree, yeah.
Because I was, I don't know, I'm torn on who to decide. I mean, there is one who would be great that everyone knows, but we're going way back now, and he was a I suppose a comedian, not comedian as such, but the late great Stan Laurel, of course. He was, of course, English. I'm also thinking, we mentioned Tommy Cooper a week or so ago. I'm thinking people like George Cole. or even Terry Thomas.
Terry Thomas. Thomas, you.
The second one you mentioned, I don't know who that
George
is.
Cole. Oh, you got to know George Cole. You've seen Minder. You must have seen Minder. Arthur Daly.
Minder.
It's always I need to see a face and then I get it. George.
Oh, you'd know him. Yeah. He was in. Did you ever watch any of the Saint Trinian movies? The old black and white comedy movies. He used to play a character called Flash Harry.
Was it George Jones? Did you say
Cole? C-O-L-E.
George Cole. C-O-L-E.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, I do.
Terry Thomas, though.
Terry Thomas.
Ding dong.
No, that was Leslie Phillips.
Oh, I know. I said that last week. I know. It's my memory, you know.
Terry Thomas.
Nurse, I need my meds now, nurse. Just call my nurse.
Terry Thomas was, you absolute shower.
Yeah, that's it. Bounder, sir. Absolute shower.
He always seemed to play the typical sort of upper class English cad. The rotter.
Yeah. You absolute rotter, sir.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, take your pick. Stan Laurel was kind of sort of outstanding in my opinion. We could probably find a lot to talk about him. But I don't know.
I don't mind the idea of Stan Laurel. Let's not forget Charlie Chaplin was English as well.
Yeah, he was. He was indeed.
I think Stan Laurel's a good one because he's because we're going back to black and white stuff, so we're taking a trip right backwards. That might be a nice idea.
Oh,
yeah, it might be because we can bring in the growth of the beginnings of Hollywood as well. Studio system, studios of the early days. Yeah.
All right, Stan Laurel then. He was actually born, I believe, in Chester, which is up near around the Liverpool area.
There's a statue, I think.
Yeah. And he obviously went over to the USA and made it in started off in silent films, I think.
Yep.
And then obviously teamed up with Oliver Hardy, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
But he was the brains behind that comedy duo. He was the one who wrote a lot of the stuff. So he was the real comedic talent there, I think.
Have you seen the recent film called? I think it's called Stan and Ollie. It shows their British tour after they'd faded. It was sometime in the maybe 1950s.
Yeah, that was with Steve Coogan playing Stan Laurel, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that, but yeah.
I saw the trailer. I watched the trailer. I was thinking this might be very well done. I wonder. I don't know who the American choice for Oliver Hardy was, but it really looks all right, you know. Maybe I'm wrong. Trailers often give the best bits of a film, as we know, and leave out the shit bits, which could be the majority of the film. We don't know that either. So I'd have to watch it.
What was it actually called?
I think it's called Stan and Ollie.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone's typing furiously. Yeah, it's called Stan and Ollie.
Yeah, I can't type furiously. My computer will explode if I do anything.
You can't. I know. It's I'm okay on my little iPad. It's all right. Stan and Ollie, it's called. It was in 2008. My God, is it really that long ago?
Right. Oh, yeah. So he played Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly.
Oh yes. Yeah, he's good.
John Reilly, wasn't he the guy who was in Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell? Was he the guy? Was that the same guy?
I believe so. Yeah, he's that kind of thick set comedian.
Yeah.
John Riley.
How much Coogan actually looks like Stan Laurel. No, Stan.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, Stan
It
Laurel.
does. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Stan and Laurel are the same one, you know. Yeah. Sorry.
That was his name.
That was his name. Yes.
Another fine mess you've got me into, Bronze.
2018 it was. Yeah. So.
Oh, I might give that a look, because it's another reason why I think it's a good one. Is I don't really know that much about them, so I'd like, I'll as I do, I'll have a look into him now.
Fordy, have you seen much of the old Laurel and Hardys? Because
no, I don't think I have actually.
I've
seen bits.
You got to check them out. They are just. They were made, I don't know when, I think the heyday was like the 20s, maybe even early 30s.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, when I was still at school, they started showing them, they'd show them regularly at 6 p.m. on BBC Two. And I'd come home from school and I watched them. It was the first time I'd ever sat down. Like you, I'd seen bits of them and this, that, and the other. But I sat down and I started watching them religiously. And I was blown away, even as a school kid, at how these comedy programs that had been made like 60, 70 years previously were still making me laugh out loud. That it was still laugh out loud stuff. It was just like incredible.
Yeah.
Talk about standing the test of time. And some of the gags in them are just brilliant, are just so brilliant. Still today, they're just untouchable. I said I'd when we meet up, I'd bring you the box set of Porridge. I've got a box set of Laurel and Hardy as well. You can take that as well if you want. That's going to keep you
blimey, yeah. I have a memory of one of the ones where I think they're both cooks, and I think they're trying to bake bread, and they're in a house, and whatever it is, at the end of it, the house is completely fallen down around them. There's flour everywhere. And I kind of have I must have been very young when I saw, but that's another great thing. When you're very young, because there's no speech, it's not very complicated comedy. It's just, he walks along, he falls over, some water falls on his head. So as a youngster, like you, I would definitely have found it funny, and I do still find it funny. But it's like such basic comedy. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is slapstick. There's one classic one where they're working in this carpenter's workshop, and all sort of everything goes wrong as it always does. But there's one really great scene where Stan has this brush in this pot of glue, and he gets it stuck to Ollie's chin. All right.
And where they're pulling backwards and forwards.
Well, they're pulling it, but then he's trying to get it off, and he's obviously pulling it at first, and then he has to cut it off, right? And he's still got the bristles, and then he's shaving the bristles off with a planer. It's just so funny. And they end up at the end of it, there's one of these massive buzz saws, and they end up accidentally driving the car up onto the ramp, and the car gets sawn in half, and it just falls, like each side falls down.
I definitely have a memory of that one as well. I guess these are ones where until someone reminds me, I don't remember them, but I definitely remember that one as well. So yeah,
they did one or two films, like sort of feature-length films as well, which are pretty good. Yeah, I'll bring it up. You can have that one. That will keep you occupied for ages, because it's.
I will. Quite
a lot of stuff in there, but yeah, it's just timeless. It's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant.
One of the wonderful things about them is, because I'm a fan of surrealism, that sort of thing that's above realism. They do stuff like I can remember one. He gets a load of tobacco and he puts it into his hand, and you think, oh, he's going to put it in his pipe. And then he sticks out his thumb and starts smoking it.
Well, yeah, he lights his thumb like a lighter.
He lights his thumb.
He flicks his thumb. And there's a light on it. Yeah, there's a flame on it. I know.
Yeah, that's the one.
And they always used to have. They used to have one or two recurring characters in them, and one of them was this guy called James Finlayson, who
the maniac. He's a hard man, isn't he?
The bald guy who they'd always manage to get on the wrong side of, and he used to kind of, they always used to look at the camera and he used to go "Dole" like that, and that was taken, that was nicked by the Simpsons. When Homer Simpson says "Dole" like that, they took it from that James Finlayson character because he used to say that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
The Simpsons nicked a lot of stuff. There's an old novel of about the same time called Day of the Locust, and there's a character in it called Homer Simpson in this old novel.
Oh, is
apparently,
yeah.
Well,
they nicked it. Yeah.
Well, apparently, I heard an interview with Matt Groening, and he said he took the name Homer. That was his dad's name. Homer.
Yeah. But there is because when I read Day of the Locust, I came across this character, sort of side character, really, and he's called Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But they're great films. They're terrific films.
Yeah. I mean, they covered such kind of they'd always be in different scenarios. Like there's one where they get press ganged into this onto this ship. Like I said, there's the Carpenters one where they open a shop, one where they're kind of removal men. It's a classic one where they have to there's this piano and it's in this big box and they have to get it up this huge flight of stairs to deliver it to this apartment right at the top of these stairs.
I think I have memories of that one as well. Yeah.
And the ones where they're married, where they have their spouses, and they're just completely dominated by their wives.
They're sometimes shown in bed together as well. Actually, I've suddenly just remembered. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, there's one called Laughing Gravy where they have this a dog, a little dog, and they're in this kind of apartment, and they're in bed together. They share a bed.
So it was kind of a series sitcom type affair that they were doing. How many episodes do you think they did of this?
Let me look this up.
Quite a lot.
No, I was going to say without you looking it up, but just out of interest, how many do you think there is? I haven't looked it up either, by the way.
Well, I could. I'd have to get that down. No, I can't be bothered. I know there's quite a lot of them.
You said you got the box set, so you know that there's quite a few.
The box set has a lot of kind of older stuff, which is not quite so good. A lot of they have one or two of the earlier stuff, which is sort of silent, and a few of their old silent ones. So it's a mixture. It's not every single one in there is like classic Laurel and Hardy. But yeah, I guess they must have done about, I don't know, 20 or 30, somewhere in that region.
Oh, wow. Right. I see.
Well, I've just found out because I didn't know. It was the tally is 32 short silent films, 40 short sound films, and 23 full-length feature films. 23. So that's
about 100.
Wow. Right. That's 107. Okay.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that many.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, another of their famous scenes. This was actually going back a few years now. This was actually released as a single and actually made it into the charts when they sang on the Trail of the Lonesome Pine. Yeah. Which is another great one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good. That's very good. Dan Laurel. Yeah.
It's reminded me of one of my favourite black and whites. Have you seen The Plank?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Eric
I think
Sykes.
still today that's probably one of my favourite films. Or is it a short film?
It's quite long. It's a long one. I think The Plank. Yeah, I've seen it years. That you just reminded me. My goodness.
Yeah, there's no dialogue in that, isn't it? It's all visual.
No, it's another one of those silent. Well, is it silent? No, it's just no talking. Yeah.
It's modern. Well, no, I say modern, but
60s. That was made 1960s, something like that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Let me look this up. It's 67. It's by Eric Sykes.
That's right. Yeah.
It's got Tommy Cooper and Jimmy Edwards in it as well.
That's it.
Oh, Tommy Cooper was in that one, was he? Oh, interesting.
Apparently, I must watch this again. Hattie Jakes is in it. Maybe she's another one. Hattie Jakes.
I think it's a great one. I haven't seen it for a long time, and it's definitely one of my favourites. All the very British, and it's just the silly things that happen to two guys delivering a plank. Yeah.
I think it might be a short film.
Yeah, when you said it was long, I suddenly thought, was it a long? I don't know.
I think I seem to remember actually having the plank. I'm just having a look now, see if I've got it.
Oh, here we go. Two variants exist. One at 51 minutes and one at 44 minutes. So I suppose that was it's a lot longer than I thought. Anyway,
it's pretty much 51 minutes. It's pushing a feature film, isn't it? Really.
Oh, and it was reissued in 1974. Because I might have seen the 1974 revamped version of it then, but anyway, Eric Sight and Tommy Cooper. Oh yeah.
This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The cast is incredible. It's got Eric Sykes, Tommy Cooper, Hattie Jakes, Roy Castle, Jimmy Edwards, Kenny Lynch, Jim Dale. On it goes, on and on it goes.
Who's who?
Amazing
of British comedy.
Bill Oddie's in it from the Goodies.
Oh, really?
Jimmy Tarbuck. Yeah, Jimmy Tarbuck. Wow.
Oh, right.
Amazing.
Oh, well, maybe that's one. Maybe we'll have to put that on when we meet up together. Oh no, you don't even have a TV, so we can't do that. But
I've got a TV which can show DVDs, but I don't have the plank.
In fact, I'll bring my laptop with me, and maybe we can find a way. But either way, if not, I'll have to watch it myself, and we'll all have to watch it on our own. And come. In fact, maybe we'll have to all watch it, and we'll one week we'll talk about that one. But we'll stick with Laurel and Hardy at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I've just ordered it.
Oh, have you really? You are great.
You're compulsive like that, aren't you, Viv? You just
I'm mentally compulsive about it.
You're a bit like Homer Simpson every time he sees an advert on TV on the shopping channel. Oh, I must buy that. Must buy that.
Yeah, I know. I bought. Yeah, I do. I do love it actually. Okay, and it's going to arrive on Saturday, August the 23rd. Isn't that lovely?
Awesome.
August the 23rd. Oh, 2 days. All right, yeah.
2 days time. Yeah, I mean it's bastard Amazon. Sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah, well,
I've gone down a notch or two in the resistance there. I'm sorry, but
yeah, you lost some.
They're bloody. I am demoted, but they're bloody fast, Amazon. That's one thing I've got to say.
They are, unfortunately, but even I had to do an order from them recently, and I hate to order from them, but yeah,
I hate it. I hate Amazon because they're essentially what they are is they're doing this thing. They're trying to be the top delivery company, and it's monopoly capitalism. Whereas I'm more into competition, and they're just bum rushing the whole delivery scene because they're so good, they're so fast, they're building chitty warehouses everywhere, huge warehouses, and I would like to see more competition. I don't want to see monopoly capitalism because that's not mercantilism or free trade in that sense. It becomes something worse, something really bad when only one company supplies everything.
Yeah,
it's a bit like China.
I've heard that working for them is an absolute nightmare as well. They're not a great company to work for. So
unless you're a robot, you're all right there. But Have you seen those bloody? Have you seen what the robots they've got? It's absolutely bloody amazing.
I haven't. No.
Oh, well, check it out. They've got amazing robots. Yeah, serious. Anyway, we've run over time. I just must quickly tell you, I'm getting more and more Booking.com people ringing up and saying they've arrived at the venue and it's a migrant hotel.
Seriously?
Serious.
Wow.
Mm.
So some places are still having rooms to book in them.
Yeah, but then they're migrant. You turn up, you book it on Booking.com. You turn up, you think, oh, it's great, looking forward to this. Get to the hotel. Sorry, sir, this has been requisitioned by the Home Office for the accommodation for the recent arrivals. We're sorry.
Well, why are they still taking bookings, first of all? And secondly, why are they not informing them that their booking has been cancelled? That's just ridiculous.
Yes, that's right. Booking.com can't last much longer as a business, surely.
No,
surely. Well, serious. There's been complaints, and it's astonishing, I tell you.
Yeah, well, if these councils start launching these legal actions, then that may change soon. But there's even Labour councillors, a couple of Labour councils who are looking into taking legal action as well, which is devastating for Starmer.
Yeah.
And the question...
More importantly, what do you call a lion with no eyes?
Lon?
Indeed. I thought I'd pull you back because we've gone well over our time and we've gone from comedy back to politics. And I thought, shit, we better get back to the end.
You're damn right. You're damn right, man. Yeah. Okay.
Well, what do you call a fly without wings?
A walk.
Oh, yes. I knew that as well. That's a good one, though.
What do cakes and baseball teams have in common?
Don't know.
They both need a good batter.
Yeah, I call my toilet Jim I call it the Jim instead of the John, because then every morning I can say I've been to the gym.
I'm struggling here. Help me, someone.
Well, you could have said, why are trees so unreliable? And of course, the answer would be because they're so shady.
Oh, no. What do you get when you cross a Russian night with a homosexual?
A Russian light. With
a Russian night.
Oh, night. No, don't know.
So gay.
I like it.
All right, okay. I mean, all I can do is pretty pathetic. Lauren Hardy jokes. You can lead a horse to water, but a pencil must be lead. I was dreaming I was awake, but I woke up and found myself asleep. Laurel.
That is surreal.
That is definitely surreal. A lot of weather we've been having lately. Hardy, way out west. So there you go. Jokes out, Yeah, really am.
I'm a bit I'm a bit sparse joke wise as well.
Bronze is poor D's up there though. He's been doing his homework, I reckon.
In fact, and I'll end on how does NASA organize a party? Sorry,
no idea.
They plan it.
Right.
Definitely good night for me.
Yeah, and it's good.
Yeah, I think I should. All right, gents.
Yeah, so it's good night from us and it's good night from them.
Yeah, good night, guys.
reminds me. What do you call a blind Bambi?
No idea.
Yeah.
No, I don't know either.
No, that's it. That's it.
I know.
No. Yeah. I'm sorry about that one. I'm really sorry.
What do you call a blind Bambi?
Yeah. No idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, for frick's sake. That's why I thought he said no idea answering it, which is why I said, no, I don't know either. That whole joke was ruined.
Oh, dear. Oh, I mean, no idea.
Even the joke of the joke was ruined.
I'm really embarrassed now, and I'm going to go and look at myself in the mirror for a long time.
I think you should.